Hi, I'm Rob the accountant. I like to help people build companies while finding solutions to problems that may come your way. Have a question? Stop over at robtheaccountant.com and ask me a question. Today, I would like to ask WTF is the NAACP? Where the F is the NAACP? Why am I asking this question? Because I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it all. I'm tired of when people use racism to support their positions, to get to cludgeon other people over the head because they said something wrong. I'm tired when politicians go out there and wave the race tag and say they're going to help all of us brown and black and minorities, and then they don't do anything. And I'm tired that when people like Rachel Dolezal stand up to help black people, the world turns against her, which is just insane to me, because I believe that in America, anyone can be whatever they want any time of the week. I don't care. It's your life. In America, you can do what you want. So I want to just come out here before I start here and say, I don't know why I'm still in the presidential campaign. I just don't feel like withdrawing the paperwork now. I am totally disgusted that we're just going to have Trump and Joe Biden, two very, very, very old people. And that's, everyone has a view on what you feel about each one of them. I just don't want either of them. I think someone like me could do better, just to be honest with you. But one of the things that tremendously bothers me today is that the NAACP isn't standing up. And so today, what I would like to do is I'm going to stand with the President Lewis of Houghton University. And President Lewis makes a statement on women's college athletes, okay? And so before we start, you say, well, what is this all about, Rob? What are you talking about? So let's go and take a look. This here is Sadie Schreiner, okay? Sadie Schreiner is, in fact, a Caucasian male. He competed a year ago in the men's divisional cross-country racing, and he came in 19th place. Over the weekend, here's him running here. Over the weekend, Mr. Sadie Camden Schreiner took the medals from the first place winner, a black female. Did you hear what I said? The white dude took the first place medal from the first place black lady and the second place black lady, or the second place white lady, or the second place black lady, I don't know. He took the medals from everyone. Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. Let's take a look at how this race unfolded. All right? Let's just take a look at it. Look at this. This is a relay. And it's not even a question. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. And it's not a question because men will always beat women. Men will always beat women. This is not, look, I didn't make these rules up, okay? So one of the things I want to say is, let's look at it. This is where I am, okay, folks? I live in Rochester, New York, okay? So one of our preeminent colleges, everyone knows, RIT, it's second to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Rochester Institute of Technology, second to it. And over the weekend, Mr. Sadie, that's him, or her, or however you want to see her, right? Not only won in a mid-state regional championship, Sadie set records on the 200-meter and the 400-meter. Let's take a look. Well, you know what? If I click that, it's going to just open up another link, right? So what I wanted to say today is, where is the NAACP? Because this is not about hating people. So before I started, I said I was going to get into a little bit of story. So I actually had a pretty troubled childhood. My mother was 14 when she had me. She abandoned me when I was 19. I had a lot of areas in foster cares, and I was fortunate enough to be adopted by some really nice folks. And the experience of where I went to school in itself was an experience. But one of the things that was constantly told to me over and over and over again, every time that I got sent to in-school suspension or I had to go to detention, was that me, as an individual, I never had the right to disrupt everybody else. So if I was in a classroom and I busted out a fart, and I thought that was funny, nobody else thought it was funny. And because the class would stop, I would get sent down to the office for detention because it was presumed or stated or asserted that I did not have a right to disrupt everybody else. So when I say that in America, I believe everybody has the right to be everything you want to be. Absolutely. That's what this country's about. This is what guarantees all of our freedom. But what you don't have a right to do is you don't have a right to change everything. 2 or 3 people or 100 people or a very small percentage in any group setting doesn't have a right. Now, we're not talking about rights like slavery because we always go into this crap with people on slavery and stuff. We're talking about rights. And so this guy, yes, he's black, and we're going to read his statement in a minute because it's important. But he's out here looking out for the girls. Bear with me for a minute. These are Division I schools. Girls and men all over the country at a very young age work very hard, very, very hard. They're in the gym in the morning. They're running. They're doing everything to work when everybody else is having fun. This is what we have as excellence. This is why we have the NFL. This is why we have the WNBA, right? So you try to get somewhere and win and be competitive and say, I'm the best, right? And these girls, all of them, they don't even show you. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about that a white dude displaced 2 black girls and a white girl in a sport that he competed in a year earlier and came in 19th place, right? This is what we want to do. So this is why I say, where is the NAACP? Because they had Rachel Dolezal as an employee of theirs, and then they let the world tell them what was wrong. They let the world tell a private company, a civil rights company that had hired her where she was doing good. I know some people would say, oh, it's for the money and all that stuff, but I think there's other ways that Caucasian people can make money, right? There's millions of other ways. I don't think they're really in a displaced arena for making money, right? So I don't think the money that the NAACP was the driving factor. I think she really wanted to help. Everything she's done, she seems to want to help people. Maybe she goes about it wrong, but the NAACP abandoned her, just like they abandoned these 2 black girls and this white girl. They abandoned them all. So what are you around for? What kind of organization? This is a civil rights issue. This is a civil rights issue and an equal rights issue. Biology is biology. I mean, you saw the race. You can go look at it. I mean, how many times do you guys need to see that it's just fundamentally flawed? This is what you want your kids competing with. And so let's take a look at what President Lewis says, because I stand with President Lewis, and I stand for everyone to have equal rights, equal opportunities, equal abilities all over this country. That's what's so great. But you don't have a right to be something a year ago, lose, be terrible in that with your peers, and then go over and disrupt people who are on scholarships, who have worked hard to win the ability to go to school and participate in a sport. And you show up 2 weeks later and you beat them. You beat them all and you set all the records. And it's like I say, I have a spouse, I would never ask her to go into a boxing ring with me, because at the end of the day, she will never win. There will be nothing in the world short of me being 98 years old where my spouse, a beautiful woman at 130 pounds, right, would be able to best me. It's just not going to happen. And so every day when we come out here, what I think we should do is just have another league. Just have another league. You have the girls' league, you have the boys' league, and then you have everybody else league, right? It works just fine. But the truth is, this isn't about equal rights. This is about super rights. This is about one group making everyone else kowtow to their position. I have many gay friends. Who goes around and asks, well, hello, Mr. Jim. Hey, sure, welcome to the bank. Are you gay? I mean, who does this stuff? Nobody does these things. So why are we pretending? Yes, that's what we're doing. We're pretending that a male beat all these girls, and by wide margins. Why even have separation? Just make it all one sport. One sport for them all then. If you can't have a trans league and you can't have a females league and you can't have a boys league, then you just have one league and the best of the best get there. Okay? So let's see what President Lewis says, because I think it's important. It's always important. Don't you guys wonder sometimes? It's just strange to me. You know, this is one of those things that I want to just make sure that is just so awesome. It's fucking awesome about America. Think about how the roles have switched. 100 years ago, we were fighting for civil rights. And today, we're speaking out, we're standing on top of the issues, and we are now, in the first time in our lives, in a position to advocate for equal rights. The same equal rights that we were denied in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, we now have the ability to stand up and be the champion for those rights for all people. Sure, I know some of us brown people, a lot of people will say we're racist people in the world, and some of us do tend to have a little outlook that's a little bit dismal. But at the end of the day, if people work hard, and this is your daughter, right? Or how about this? How about it's your son? And it's your son. And your son is going to college, and, you know, his first regional win, right? The thing that's going to decide whether he goes to the NBA or the NFL, he's competing against those industries. He's not competing against anybody else. So your son, as he goes in to play his NFL game at Michigan State, right? And he's going to be the next quarterback. He's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. But you know what happens? Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs show up at Michigan State. What chance does he have? He's got no chance at all. That team, the Chiefs, will roll Michigan State. It's not even a question. Sorry, Michigan State, I just picked you out because I love Michigan, and I think you guys won this year, so you're a great college and stuff. But I'm just saying, if your rookie quarterback came and it was the big game, and he was out to see the other team, who was another equal college team, but instead, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs showed up, you, as the parent of that boy, knowing that that game rested on whether he went to the NFL or not, every single one of you would say, no, you can't do that to my son. So why men are we all so quick to allow our sex, or whatever we are calling ourselves, to do that to women? Aren't we supposed to be protecting women? Isn't that our role? Men's role is to protect the women? Somewhere along the line, we have gotten away from that. Men have forgotten their role. Okay? Men have forgotten their role. And when you can say that this person kind of looks like a girl, right? But beats two real girls, that's not right. That's not normal. That's not equitable to 1, 2, 3 women who worked hard, who put in the effort. We don't even know what he did. What did Sadie do? I mean, it really doesn't look like, I don't know what he did any special, and I don't know what the reality is how fast a guy is relative to a girl. But I know that in the NFL, men run 40s a lot quicker than women do. So sometimes I get a little off track. It bothers me. And, we need to just have this discussion, and we need to start saying what is right is right. And we have to start reaching into our hearts and saying that America has changed so much. And it could be so much better, but it's still changed so much. And it's changed so much that not only is President Lewis the president of I know a lot of people don't maybe think Christian schools are very, Houghton University is a pretty prestigious school, and it's a big school. And here's their president, a black guy, right? So let's read what he has to say. This was conducted on an interview with Bob Lonsberry on 1180 Wham, iHeartRadio. It was a great interview. So I'm going to blow it up so you can all read it with me. My faith teaches me that every one of us is created in the image of God. I also second that opinion. Every one of us is deserving of dignity and respect. I also believe in that too. This is not about disrespecting people. No, it sure isn't. This is about standing up for what is right. Amen. I thank God that we live in a nation where we have the freedom to express ourselves as we choose. I do too. But those freedoms cannot get to the place where they take away freedoms and opportunities from other people. They can't. You just can't. You can't go in there and say, well, you're this just to take somebody else's. You haven't put the time in. You didn't put the equity in. You didn't put the muscle in there, right? That is crossing the line, and we have indeed crossed the line in letting biological males compete in women's athletics. My prayer is that we can come together on this issue and get back to what is right for women's athletics. And, as everyone has whatever opinion are, okay? Again, any opinion you want. Doesn't matter. It's your right. I just want you. They don't even show. You can't even find these girls that lost. You can't find them. You can't find the pictures. And you got Sadie all over the internet that he won all these internet things. Yet a year ago, there it is, a year ago, for men, he lost. He was 19th, right? 19th place. It just, and then it's not enough. He's got to go out and brag about it. It just is not right, folks. And so this is where it is. Sadie Schreiner shared 2 track and field records, including inciting a fresh wave of controversy. And it's amazing where it is. Here it is, folks, right there. I was looking for it. I was a little lost. A year prior, under the identity of Camden Schreiner, he had competed in the men's category of the 100-meter race, securing a 19th place finish. Okay? But all of you came out and you hated this woman. You hated this woman. You got this woman fired. Because you know what's the worst thing in the world? You know the one thing in America you can't pretend? You can't pretend you're black, because then everybody hates you, right? So what's the difference? What is the difference? This lady was trying to help people. A year ago, this guy was losing to other men. This weekend, he won the women's races and he set records. Does anybody not wish this happened with your career? Like you showed up on Monday and suddenly you were the boss and they said, hey, here's your $200,000 salary. What'd you do? I don't know. I showed up. It just, once again, I just want to ask, where is the NAACP? Where is Dr. Richie from Indisputable? Where are you? Where is the rest of the media on this? How many girls have to have their dreams broken, their hearts sad? Just go interview people at that meet. This is a regional conference, so a lot of girls from a lot of places lost. And any of you care about that? None of you think about them? What did they go to work for? Just for what? In vain? For what? Because so one guy can come out and steal all their effort? I think there was 6 or 7 divisional schools there. One person gets to override and overturn everything else for everybody else? No. Because if that's the case, every single person in Penfield, in my elementary school, middle school, and high school, they all owe me an apology, every single one of them. Because I spent many days in detention and in-school suspension under the belief that my farting in class or my disruptions in class were unacceptable and were not tolerated because it disrupted the rights of the other people in the room. And at that moment and at that time, I didn't really understand that. So, of course, I was salty. But now I have 2 grown boys that are almost 30 years old. I understand. Time takes time. People have to grow up. People have to evolve. You come out as a baby and you don't know nothing. You got time. It's got to get there. Let's let people grow up. Let's let people be who they want to be. I don't think anyone was stopping Sadie from competing. He has never been denied from competing. What he has been given, or what she has been given, is she has been given the right to compete twice. She has been given 2 bites at the apple. He got 1 bite at the apple to be a male to see if he had won, so he could have caught that award, and then he could have went back to the other side like he did now and caught that award. He would have had 2 awards from 2 different divisions, from 2 different schools, from 2 different biologies. This is a second bite at the apple. This isn't him being denied anything. There's nothing he's been denied, not one thing. But what he denied? He denied the rights of these 3 girls to pursue their careers, to have an opportunity to go to the next level. And when I mean that, there was a girl last week in, I think, Iowa, the basketball player, and she's going to write her ticket, right? Because she didn't have a guy on the basketball court. She didn't have LeBron James there so that every time she went up to make a basket, he stuffed it in her face. No, she didn't have that. That's not what the Iowa girl had. But that's what these track stars had at a Division I school in Rochester, New York, where Sadie Schreiner, a woman who a year ago was a man, has had the ability now to compete, not once, but twice. 2 sets of rights. That's more rights than the rest of us are afforded. It is time for the NAACP to stand up and start advocating for the people that is in your name, the National Association of Advancement for Colored People, that name, colored people, doesn't say black people, it does say colored people, all colored people. And over the weekend, you allowed 2 black girls and a white girl to have their heart broken for no other reason. So this person could be selfish. Selfish. That's what it is with that smile. Selfish. Okay? I don't understand how anybody who's like me or a male can get up there and look at those 3 girls and call yourself a winner. Maybe he can. He obviously can because he went to Twitter. But I just think that at the end of the day, as a country, we need to get back to basics. And it's great to see that America is a beautiful country, is constantly changing, is constantly getting better. But when you try to get better at the expense of other people, then really you're no different than what we experienced during the Civil War and pre-slavery times. It's the same thing because we're just getting blocked out by a different form of racism. Have a good day. I'm Rob the accountant. I always hate having to be the naysayer, you know. It doesn't seem like anyone's paying attention today, and it seems like everybody's in their own little world, right? But I understand sometimes what it's like to work hard and still lose. And I understand what it's like to just be out there alone, and then, you know, you put everything into it, and it's still not good enough. That's not the world we create here. Those girls should all be awarded the medals of their respective places. The girl who was first should get first place, and if she broke the record, that was the last one, she should get it. Same with the second and third place. I'm Rob the accountant. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and I get back to work. Yeah, I have been stopping to take these videos, but I got tax clients waiting. So hope to talk to you guys folks soon. Hope to talk to you folks soon. But in the meantime, have a great week. Thanks.